Have you ever been arrested on your own property? That's what happened to me. At 6 in the morning, waist deep in icy water, handcuffed while my little aluminum fishing boat floated beside me, like it was guilty too, and the one screaming for my arrest? The HOA president, Margaret, Maggie, Thornfield. But here's the twist. 10 minutes later, I owned her precious marina. Let me tell you how it all went down. My name is Jake Morrison. 15 years ago, my wife Sarah and I bought 12 acres of paradise, a cabin, a dock, and our very own lake. Every morning we sat on that dock together, coffee in hand, mist rising from the water, the sound of loons echoing across the shore. When cancer took Sarah 3 years ago, that dock became my lifeline. Every morning at 5 a.m., I went out with my German Shepherd. That little boat wasn't just a boat, it was survival. But paradise doesn't last. And that's when Maggie arrived. Picture a woman in her 50s, perfect hair, diamond jewelry, a BMW SUV polished like a mirror. She didn't just become a HOA president, she conquered it. And she ruled with an iron fist. Noise fines, lawn fines, parking fines. She once fined a neighbor because their wind chime was too cheerful. And then she turned her eyes on me. It started with a letter, certified mail, a $500 fine for visual pollution. In plain English, she claimed my dock was ugly. She declared it HOA property, and she demanded I tear it down. I called her. Mrs. Thornfield, there must be a mistake. Her voice? Cold as ice. No mistake. You have 30 days, remove it, or face consequences. Then she hung up. I ignored her. 30 days passed. My dock stayed. So she escalated. Threats of lawsuits, violation letters every single day. And then the final blow. One morning, I found a giant red sign bolted to my dock. No trespassing on my property. The next morning, I walked down as usual. Waders on. Boat in the water. Rex at my side. That's when I heard her. High heels on wood. Perfume filling the air. Arrest him, she screamed. A deputy sheriff stood there looking confused. Ma'am, this is his dock, isn't it? Not anymore, Maggie shrieked. It belongs to the HOA now. The deputy sighed. And then the handcuffs clicked around my wrist. Imagine it, waist deep in my own lake. Neighbors filming from their decks. 15 people sipping coffee, laughing at the morning drama. Humiliating, but also hilarious, because Maggie had no idea what was coming next. See, while she was busy playing dictator, I was doing my homework. I dug into county records, and I found a loophole. Turns out the HOA had zero authority over private waterfront lots. In fact, there was a little-known clause in county law. It allowed landowners like me to apply for exclusive lake management rights. So I did. I filed the paperwork, paid the fees, and 2 months before that morning, my petition was approved. Not only did I own my dock outright, I now owned the legal rights to manage the entire lake. So there I stood, dripping wet, handcuffed. I told the deputy, check the paperwork in my truck. He did. His eyebrows shot up. He turned to Maggie and said, ma'am, according to this, Mr. Morrison isn't trespassing. In fact, you are? The silence that followed? Glorious. The cuffs came off. The deputy apologized. My neighbors cheered. And Maggie, for the first time in her life, she had nothing to say. So here's my question for you. What would you do if your HOA tried to arrest you on your own dock? Would you leer up? Would you fight back? Or would you flip the script like I did? Drop your HOA horror story in the comments. I want to hear them. And hey, if you enjoyed this story, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it tells me you want more wild stories like this, because trust me, this battle with Maggie, it was only the beginning.